Hi, my name is Sarah. I am the TOTKO web designer. So if you got to see it from the website, then I made that. Hopefully you find it easy to read and navigate, because if you don't, then I'm the person you have to blame for it. My learning difficulty is dyslexia. So I found out I was dyslexic when I was just 6 years old, though I had problems as soon as I started school. Actually, the teachers at my school said if it turned out I was dyslexic, then I would probably never be able to read or write. Um, or even cope with things like secondary school. Um, I now have a degree in English and creative writing, and I work in a bookshop. So I like to feel that I have rather ethically proven them wrong. My dream actually has always been to write books, and I've never given up on that. I mean, even though my dyslexia makes that harder, that's what I really want to do. It's always really surprised me how low people's expectations are for people with learning difficulties. Because, like, for me personally, although I have dyslexia, other than that and my dyslexic difficulties, I'm a capable person. I got told by teachers at secondary school that I would never do well in English because I was dyslexic. Not based on my written work, just on that, because people with dyslexia, they just didn't understand it properly. Whereas luckily, I had several other teachers who were incredibly supportive. Without them, I might not have gone on to university to study English and creative writing at all. They really believed in me and what I could do. And it's people like that who really do make a difference to people like me with the problems that we face. It's just having someone actually believe in you and not to say, no, these problems that you have, they can't ever be overcome. To actually say, no, you can do this. You shouldn't let these things define you. One of the things I actually really like about TOTKO is it has such a positive attitude to learning disabilities. I love that they are going into schools and they are educating people about what learning disabilities and difficulties really mean. I really think it's so important that people with learning disabilities are supported in schools, in the workplace, and just generally in society, because I really do think we've got so much to offer. Um, so I suppose I should tell you a bit more about the difficulties that my dyslexia causes me. Here we go. So I have problems with phonics, working memory. I know a lot of you with other difficulties will recognise that one. With sequencing, did I mention processing speed? Because I have problems with processing speed, it's a short-term memory there. Things like timekeeping, so I've got things that I can do to help me deal with that. I struggle a bit with organisation, but again, there are things that I can do, methods I have to deal with that. I get my lefts and my rights confused a lot. That was fun when learning to drive, which was an unexpected difficulty. That took me quite a while to do. Yeah, so that's oh yeah, and visual difficulties. I did mention that. I might have mentioned that. My working memory got me up. Other things. Well, things that I'm good at. I should tell you a bit about those as well. So it's not all doom and gloom. I'm quite good at big picture thinking. So seeing the wood for the trees is the best way to put it. I'm really good at that. And seeing how unconnected things connect together. I'm often told by people, oh, you're really sensible, or you're really good at seeing these things that I would never have seen that right away. And it all comes back to that ability. And when you're a young kid at school and you don't think that you're good at anything, you really don't see how being able to do that is going to be useful to you. But by the time you're about 17, and you've got to cope with managing your own deadlines, and you're being set different types of problems and difficulties at school and in your home life, then you can start to see how useful an ability that is. I'm also quite a creative person, hence why I enjoy creative writing and writing in general. Quite imaginative. I like to come up with new things. Again, that's something that I'm sure a lot of people will relate to. And acting. I like acting. I'm part of an amateur dramatics group, and I have been since I was about 8 years old. It's one of the first things that I found out that I was that I was actually good at. Other than, I used to be quite good at drawing. I'm not anything fantastic, but compared to, my other difficulties, that's something that's been a strength for me. What would I? Yeah, the other thing that I would say is that I did find primary school especially, very difficult and very unpleasant. There were times when I used to pretend I was sick so I didn't have to go. And it just felt like the things that I was good at just weren't valued there. I very rarely had any of my schoolwork displayed, and I just generally felt inferior to everyone else, and that made me quite resentful of other people. And it took me quite a long time to get over that and get my self-confidence back. And one thing that's upsetting for me is knowing there's probably other people out there right now who feel the same way that I used to feel. And what I would say to them and to their parents is, it does get better. It's not going to be this way forever. You are good at things and you are a capable person, but you've just got to get through this period in your life and things will gradually improve. I mean, for me, as soon as I got into secondary school, things just started to get better because they didn't just look at my work just based on my spelling and my writing. They actually looked at, they actually said, well, look, she understands these things. Just because she can't necessarily communicate that clearly at the moment, it doesn't mean that she's not learning. And certainly as I went on into sixth form and on into university, there was a lot more support, and people valued more the talents that I had, and they were looking less at the difficulties. They were becoming less of a problem. Though there were things that obviously I'd have to really work on. Other things that I would say. Okay, that was it. That's what I was going to say. I was going to talk about advice for people with learning difficulties and disabilities of any variety. My top advice would be to speak up about it. To your kid, if you're in school, talk to your school, talk to your parents, put the pressure on, and speak to them. If you are an adult, then talk to your employer, talk to your partner. There are internet forums that you can go on for most disabilities and difficulties. There are charities like Dyslexia Action. There are things that you can do and people that you can go to for help. And just keep speaking and talking to people until someone listens. The other thing I'd say, which is really important, is while there are people out there who believe in you and who are in your corner and are fighting for you, the most important person in terms of you doing well is you and your self-belief, and in saying, you know what, I am a capable person, I deserve to be listened to, and I can do well, and I can overcome these problems that I have. I'm not going to let those define me or limit my options. I'm going to face up to these, I'm going to deal with them, and I'm going to look at my talents and my strengths and think about how I can use those to move forward. Because if you don't believe in yourself, and other people aren't going to believe in you either, and you won't have that motivation to push ahead and put through. It's so important that you believe in yourself and that you can do well, because gradually, if you believe that, then other people are going to believe that too. The only other thing that I would say is about failure. Because people with learning difficulties, we tend to make a lot of mistakes. We just make them in certain areas more than other people tend to. And it's difficult, especially if you've had problems at school in the past and things like that, and you felt insecure and bad about that, then it can be hard to face failing and difficulty. But what I would say is that if you're not making mistakes and you're not learning from them, I really believe that. I really believe that it's important to make mistakes, because then you can learn from them and you can move forward. And I think eventually it makes you a stronger person. I think that's one of the reasons why people with learning difficulties are often said to be really good entrepreneurs, because they've made mistakes and it's not the end of the world, and they've pushed ahead and pushed through, and they're more willing to take risks and to take chances. And I think that's an important part of succeeding in life, is not being afraid to take risks and to try new things. And if you're not doing that, then you aren't learning and you aren't really living either. So that's what I would say to you, is to try and put that to one side and just try and say, you know, if I make mistakes, I'm not good at this, then okay. It's not the end of the world. I'm sure that sounds very easy to say and not very easy to do, but you know, those are the things that have helped me the most, is believing I deserve to be listened to and standing up for myself when I have problems and saying, you know, I need some help with this, and also believing in myself and believing that I can deal with the problems I've got, and that I'm a capable person, that I can move through the difficulties I'm facing, and saying, you know what, if I make a mistake, I'm going to push ahead and keep going with this anyway, because it's something that I really want to do, and I'm not going to let the problems that I have and that I face stop me from doing the things I really want and need to do with my life. So I will end on telling you a little bit more about me. In addition to my work for TOTKO, I also have designed my own website, which is called disbooks, and that's disbooks with a Y, .com. Feel free to check that out. And what that is it's a website for people with dyslexia or their parents and teachers, anyone trying to help and support them. And it's to support them in getting into reading and writing and enjoying literature. And hopefully that's something that will be really useful for people, so please feel free to check that out. Other things that I do, basically again, I've probably mentioned my acting already. I'm part of a drama group. And I have a dyspraxic boyfriend who takes up a lot of my time. Who, you know, you might be hearing from later. And my kitten, Peach, who is around here somewhere. So thank you very much for watching. I really hope that you found this interesting and useful. If you have any questions for me, or for anyone else from TOTKO, then send us a message on this video or send us an email. You can email us at hellototko@gmail.com. Okay. Thank you very much. Bye.